Welcome to the Note to Self podcast. I'm your host, Zoe Ariel, an adventurous entrepreneur who loves to make the most out of life. I'm a certified professional life coach, digital course creator, verified YouTuber, and published author. On this podcast, you can expect actionable tips, reflections, and inspiration to live your best, most fulfilling life. So, let's get started. Hello, angels. Welcome back to another episode of Note to Self. Today's Note to Self is a pretty spontaneous, fun episode because I actually just got back from a trip to Canggu and I experienced something. I experienced a paradigm shift and I just couldn't wait to tell you guys about it. So as soon as I got home, I just put down my stuff and here I am recording this episode for you. So recently in my life, I have started to really acknowledge and honor what is at the forefront for me, and that is manifesting my king, manifesting my divine masculine partner into my life. And it's taken a long time for me to get here. I feel like, as in it's taken a long time for me to really acknowledge that this was a desire of mine. And, I had to release a lot of shame. And even talking to you guys about this now in the podcast, it just feels like a whole new world because I actually couldn't really imagine that I would actually get to this place. I don't know. It just has always felt like a bit of a tender matter close to the heart. But I am so happy to be doing this work and focusing on this area of my life because, as always, when we practice focused energy versus scattered energy, as in when we really decide to commit to something, we can create huge transformations fast. And before I get into the story time today, I want to invite any of you out there who are ready to make significant changes in your relationship with money and activating your channel for financial abundance. My signature money program, Opulence, is presently on early bird special right now. So if you're ready to do the work with money, I definitely recommend signing up for this program now because I'm going to be launching it again in January. The price will naturally increase because there's a lot of really amazing content that I'm adding to it based on up levels and things that I've learned and all the good stuff that I've got planned. So if you're ready to clean up your relationship with money before 2023 starts, get in now, get the work done. And by the time that we begin in January, you are going to feel so supercharged and the next round is going to be insane. I've got big things planned and it's going to be 10x the value of what you're paying right now. So get in. I cannot wait to see you up leveling in the money realm and just allowing in the financial abundance that is your birthright. So the link will be down below for Opulence. And if there's any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. But if it's time for you to really focus on that area and transform it for yourself, there's no better time than now. So this past weekend, I was in Ahmed with my family. This is in East Bali, and I have recently been diving into the work of Alison Armstrong. Those of you who may not be familiar with her work, she really speaks about the dynamics between men and women and understanding just the masculine and the feminine, and specifically men and testosterone and women estrogen and how that works. And I'm basically learning a lot of stuff from her content. It's been a huge key and a game changer in really opening up to my king, calling him in and shifting the way that I've seen men. And a lot of this is subconsciously that way that I've seen men or held men in my frame in my life. And so the two books that I have read by her, I've read Keys to the Kingdom first, and I'm presently reading The Queen's Code. I do recommend reading them in that order. I believe that is the order that they were actually written in. And for me, it's just like, I cannot even tell you guys the shifts, whether you're in a relationship or not in a relationship, like this content has been so game changing for me and has allowed for so much healing to happen and so much forgiveness about my past and just really understanding men. So basically, from reading these books, I got to this point in the Queen's Code where I was ready to take my vow, where I was going to stop castrating men. And I know that probably sounds a little bit aggressive and you're like, Zoe, you're not castrating men. But if you've read the books, if you're familiar with Alison Armstrong's work, you're going to know what I'm talking about. So I decided that it was time that I stop castrating men and I start loving men. I start truly opening up my heart and seeing men in all of their divine masculine potential and seeing kings everywhere. I was just like, I'm so done. I'm going to drop the struggle. I'm going to put down the sword, and I'm going to start loving men. I'm going to choose now to love men. I went down to the ocean. I took my vow. I cleansed, and I decided that things were going to be different now, because as of now, I was deciding to fully love men. And let me tell you guys, I am seeing a completely different reality. The reality before I decided to open up to the divine masculine, I was like burying my desire for a relationship in a bunch of shame and all of that. Crickets, you guys, crickets. I mean, I feel like I have shared this. It wasn't just crickets, it was like locusts, okay? It was those really loud locusts. Like, that was the vibe. Very little attention from men in the last year. And if I was getting attention, it was from my exes. And that really frustrated me, because I was like, I am not moving backwards. I am moving forwards. Like, why does this keep circling around? And I think there's an abundance of reasons. There's an abundance of learning and lessons and all of that. And I don't really feel like this is the episode that I need to go into it. But what I want to say is that from deciding, right, making the choice that I'm going to honor what's on my heart as my truest, most burning desire right now, is when I am seeing the significant changes. And after I decided to take this vow just this past week, I am seeing a completely different reality with men. And it's been super beautiful, because what I'm seeing around me is divine masculines desiring to support me, to love me, to compliment me, to cherish me, to adore me, to show up for me. And I haven't been able to see this. I'm sure that it was around, but as we know, like, until we decide to open our eyes and choose differently about the reality that we're living in, we cannot experience the change. It all starts internally. So today I went to Canggu. Every Thursday I go to Canggu, and I have my, what I like to call, trauma release day, where I go to see some healers. I have one-on-one with my breathwork coach, Alex. He's amazing. If you guys are in Bali and you're desiring to work with a coach, specifically a breathwork coach, Alex is amazing. Send me a DM, because you're friends with me. I can hook you up. So anyways, Alex is amazing. He's really been coaching me into my feminine, as in like allowing me to feel my emotions. And what I really love about working with Alex is because he is a divine masculine, and I am able to work through layers of resistance around showing emotion and crying in front of a male, and that in itself is very healing to me. So today, I'm feeling all kinds of ways. I do my breathwork journey. I'm crying. I'm just releasing all my emotions. And so I was feeling super flowy, like super in the feminine, right? Because the feminine is about expression. It's about letting our emotions flow and not suppressing them or not constructing them or trying to shift them. It's just allowance. So I was in a state of allowance, and then after breath work, I'm leaving Canggu, and Google Maps decided to take me down this road. Except I'm not even going to call it a road. This road is like straight out of your nightmares. Like, Scorpio had some choice words about this road. Like, this was not even a road. This was like a gravel, like, cliff beside rice fields. I'm just not even going to get into it. But basically, it was just a scene. And my bike got stuck in the gravel, and my bike is very heavy. It's very difficult for me to lift and move my bike. And I got stuck, and I'm telling you, within seconds, divine masculines were flocking around me. There's 3 divine masculines helped me lift my bike up and back onto the road so I could drive it out. And I was feeling so embarrassed because Canggu is busy. There was just bikes piling up in a lineup behind me. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. They were all helping me. They were so kind. In seconds, they were there. What I'm saying, in seconds, I was being supported by divine masculine kings. And they lifted my bike up, so back onto the road versus like this gravel side pit, because, in seconds I could have fallen into the rice fields, and that would have been a scene. Oh man, that would have been a scene. But anyways, they saved me. The divine masculine saved me. They were so chivalrous. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, Canadian Zoe, apologetic Zoe, And then this hot Australian guy is like, don't even worry about it, babe. And like, It was just like such a moment because like the traffic is piling up. I'm just like feeling all kinds of ways. And he was just like, I don't know. I could just tell that he like thought that I was so adorable for getting my bike stuck. And like, it didn't matter that I was causing this backed up traffic jam in the rice fields. It was just like really cute. It's just like I didn't know this gentleman or anything like that. I didn't know the divine masculines who lifted my bike out, my saviors from that day. But it was just the beauty of opening up to a new paradigm and being willing to see things differently, being willing to accept and allow masculine providers into my life, even if they are strangers. So I couldn't wait to tell you guys this story because it was a huge shift for me. And I feel like there's a couple of keys here. One is that I've been learning to allow my emotions flow a lot more, been allowing myself to open up, been allowing to be seen by the masculine in my emotional states of being. And then taking this vow, right? And opening up myself up to choose to love men, choosing to love men and see men in their divine masculine potential all the time. And in doing so, I am receiving divine masculine support in an entirely new way. And yeah, I hope this inspired you guys or shifted something for you. And Alison Armstrong, I'm going to leave those 2 books down below that I mentioned. Her books, like I said, have been healing things, shifting things for me, really changing things for me. And whether you're in a relationship or not, I think that it is highly beneficial to read. And yeah, with that, I'm sending you so much love. And may we all manifest our beautiful divine counterparts, whoever they may be, and all the abundance to you today. Thanks for listening to Note to Self. If you enjoyed this episode, please help me out by rating and reviewing this show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If my energy is resonating with you and you feel the call to work with me, there are an abundance of ways to do so. I offer one-to-one life coaching programs, mastermind containers, and DIY courses, all of which are available through my website, zoeariel.co. Until next time, take note of all the abundance that surrounds you as you make the most of this game called life.